Welcome to Invest Africa. On our show today we have Afzal Delbar, who is the Secretary General of the Freeport Operators Association. Afzal, welcome to Invest Africa.
The pleasure is mine.
Afzal, the Freeport, what is a Freeport?
The Freeport is a trading platform whereby you can do international trade and buying and selling of commodities. It is a platform, it is specially designed to operate in the port area, whereby you have facilities of logistics and you have other incentive to operate when you are a licensing in Mauritius as a Freeport operator.
And since then, since when have this Freeport been in existence in Mauritius?
I will tell you that the Freeport is a new name for a business that we have been doing for centuries in Mauritius. Even during the French administration since 1725, Mauritius has always been a trade platform. The French was using Mauritius for its geographical position to do trade with the West Indies, with Africa. And when the English took the island in 1810, there was the same things happening. We were doing Mauritius as a trade platform with the British Indian Ocean Territory. And then with years to come, we were doing the same business through the custom procedures of constructive import and export, lending and shipping. When in 1982, the government came with a legal structure to implement a Freeport as an economic sector. So actually the Freeport, as I told you earlier, it is a new name for a business that we have known for centuries.
And can anyone or any business access this Freeport to do business?
Of course, but you have to go through procedure. The first thing, you have to set up a company in Mauritius. Once your company has been set up in Mauritius, you apply for a license to the Board of Investment. And when you got your license with the Board of Investment, you can apply to have facilities in the Freeport zone. The Freeport zone or dedicated zone according to our legislation. So these zones, geographically you are in Mauritius, but legally you are not in Mauritius. That's why when you operate in the Freeport, you have certain incentives that you are not eligible. You are tax-free, corporate tax-free. You have other facilities also, and in logistic facilities to operate in the Freeport.
And your association, what exactly does it do?
You know, the Freeport Operators Association is an organization that regroups Freeport licensees in Mauritius. The aim of the association is to represent all those that operate in the Freeport zone with a Freeport license, of course, and its objective is to dynamize the Freeport sector and to be the mouthpiece of the operator towards its other stakeholders, whether it's government institution, private organization, or the private institution. And we are here to represent and to talk on behalf of the sector.
And who is eligible to apply to join?
Anybody who have a Freeport license is eligible to apply and be member of the association, and they benefit lot of, you know, there are things that we can do when we are grouped together that we cannot do when we are alone.
On a more serious note, we've witnessed recently a downfall in the number of activities on the Freeport in Mauritius. Can you explain why, are we experiencing this downfall?
You know, I would say that recently our Freeport has been subject to collateral damages. Most of our buyers that come as clients to buy in the Freeport in Mauritius, they were cash businesses. And since the government came with legislation that people cannot carry cash, they have to declare cash, there are other, repressive laws against people coming with cash. So many of our buyers from Comoros Island, from Malagasy, from other African countries, now they do not come to Mauritius. This is one thing. And on other side, our government policy is not clear. They do not have a clear-cut policy what they want. So many times we have to fight on issues that are not issues to be fight, because we have to concentrate to be competitive on the international market. Let's say in the Freeport, we operate without protecting net. And we need protection from our government, from our authority. And other thing also, bureaucracy, problem having with custom procedures, and our custom do not understand what is exactly the Freeport. For them, it is a bonded warehouse, same as you operate in a bonded warehouse. So that's why some of our Freeport operators has preferred to move on other platform, because Mauritius is not the only Freeport platform in the world.
And what are the platforms that Mauritius is competing with?
Our platforms that we are competing with Jebel Ali,
which is in Dubai.
In Dubai with Ras Al Khaimah, and we are competing with others in Singapore, and we are competing with Hong Kong. But we in Mauritius, our Freeport can operate regionally. Do not expect a Freeport that can do business with Europe. Mauritius has always been a platform, and actually it is mainly based for regional trade. And now we even have Freeport in Djibouti, even in Malagasy, they want to create a Freeport there, and in Kenya, in Mombasa, they want to give these same facilities. So these are our main competition. And comparing to others, our government should see that we work on certain levels that give our local operators or even foreign investors that has invested in our Freeport the free hand to make our Freeport really a Freeport zone.
And our government is pushing really hard to make us as a hub between the Asia-Africa route and vice versa. In your own opinion, what more can we do to make us an attractive and competing platform for us to do Freeport business in the region or else in the world?
You know, there are very many good sweet talk, but on the other hand, we have regulation, we have laws that are being passed every year, every now of them, that discourage people. So if we want to dynamize our Freeport, we should see our Freeport compared to others. Why people would come to operate in the Mauritian Freeport and not elsewhere? Or do they have a really free in a zone to operate? But Mauritius remain a competitive edge, because firstly, in Mauritius we are multi-language. We speak several languages, so we can be the bridge between the English speaking and the French speaking. We can also be the bridge between Asia and the French speaking countries. So it's, you know, in Mauritius, in this region, we are one of the rare English, French and even one Indian language speaking. And most of the other islands, they are French speaking. And you know, English is a business language.
But Mauritius forms part of many regional blocks. For example, the COMESA block, the SADC block, and even the Indian Ocean Rim block. So that should give us even more advantages than the rest of our competing platforms.
Yes, definitely our trade protocol on origins of goods give us a competitive edge. But it is not enough. Enough is that we should have more facilities, more ease. Our wing should have a space to expand, but which is not the case. We know our policymakers, they do not have a holistic view of the sector. Here in Mauritius, we have the Port Authority, we have the Custom, we have the Board of Investment, we have the Ministry of Finance, everyone looking at the Freeport from a different angle. They do not have a holistic way of looking at the Freeport. So the Board of Investment want to expand business, but the Custom see territorial. The Ministry of Finance sees regulations. While our Ministry of Foreign Affairs, they are fighting for our Mauritius to beneficiate all of this protocol, to have a competitive edge, to operate on Africa, to operate in the Indian Ocean region.
So the success will be a harmonization of all the policies
into
one direction.
Definitely there will be harmonization. They should have harmonization, and our ministers that look after the Freeport sector should know what they want. They cannot have things off of it. Let's say they say, you know, we are going to have factory in the Freeport, but the factory should export certain percentage to Africa. So you cannot say to someone to come in our Freeport, to open the factory in our Freeport, and at the same time you limit him. So when he's doing marketing, he should say, oh no, you know, my marketing should be 90% in Africa and the other in Europe. So if we get more in Europe, what will happen then? So business people should have free hand to manufacture, to trade, and to operate. So that is why I will say that they do not have a clear-cut vision.
Afzal, it was a pleasure talking to you on Invest Africa, and thank you.
The pleasure is mine again, and thank you also.